Hello, my name is Charles Ardinger, and I'll be working with you in your English 100 class as your instructor. I wanted to make this short video presentation to introduce myself and to show you some aspects of the class that you should probably know as we continue. So, let me begin by introducing myself. My name, again, is Charles Ardinger. I've been working here at Coastline College since 2013, starting as a tutor with the Student Success Center and eventually becoming an instructor, teaching basically this class. I'm particularly interested in the subject of English grammar. I actually love English grammar. I like to talk about it and I like to answer questions about it. So if you have any of those questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email and ask. I'd really like to have that conversation. That's a little about me. I'll be learning more about you as we progress through the semester, and now I'd like to show you some aspects of the class that you might not be familiar with and can help you as we continue. We'll start by looking at the loading page or front page of the class. As you see, it has the name of the class in it, and it has some points that I'd like to show to you. First, I want you to notice that on the right side of the page, as you see here, and also down the middle of the page towards its bottom, as you see here, there is a schedule of events in the class. The class will include possible Zoom meetings, submissions for assignments, discussion forums, and quizzes. And all those events are here on the front page of the class. So, anytime you wonder what you should be doing in this class, look at the date, look at the front page, and think to yourself, what's due next? This will help you with time management, which is an incredibly important aspect of online learning. So this is a nice aspect that Canvas has provided us and that I think it can take advantage of. Second, I'd like to point out at the top of the page, there are these announcements. An announcement is something that I will write every week, sometimes twice or three times a week, to talk about issues in the class, such as issues of grammar or things that I see in quizzes or composition ideas that I think can help. And the way to look at the announcements is to do this. Click on the title of the announcement on the home page, or click on Announcements on this menu to the left. Once you click it, you will be taken to the announcement itself, which you can read at your leisure. If you want, you can actually pause this video right now and read the entire announcement. It will tell you pretty much what I have told you, that I will post these once or twice a week, and that they can be helpful to you as you develop your skills as a writer. The next thing that I want to show you is how to get feedback from me. Most of our communication in this class will be in the form of you submitting assignments and me commenting on those assignments. And so it's very important that I show you how to see those comments, how to get the advice from me that will help you as you continue. The way to do that is to go through this link labeled Grades. Doing that will take you to a page that looks like this. And you'll notice that this page has on it all the assignments that you'll be doing in this class. This imaginary student has completed the assignment for Module 1, your favorite class, which you'll see soon. To look at how, let's pretend the student is me, to look at how I did on this assignment, I can first see my grade, 90%. Out of 100, not too bad. Could use some improvement. I wonder how I could make that improvement. And I see that there are comments that I can look at on the assignment. So what I'll do is I'll click the title of the assignment, which leads me to a page that looks like this. You might notice first on this page the comment right here. For each of your assignments, I will make this kind of comment. I will write some sentences talking about how I see what I read in your paper, what I think of the composition, how it could be refined for future assignments, things like that. Also, I grade everything by a rubric. A rubric is a chart that shows criteria for an assignment, things I want you to be able to do with the assignment, and scores based on how well you did those things. So if you want to look at the completed rubric for an assignment, you can do this clicking on the link that says Show Rubric. Then you will see that rubric. So, for instance, if you ask, does this paragraph follow the text pattern, which you'll find out more about as we continue, yes, it does. The outline uses the right structure. However, you'll notice that the paragraph doesn't quite make the length requirement, so it misses a few points there. That's probably why the 90% grade. So as a student, I know that I can be very careful to make sure that my paragraphs have enough words in them. To make the rubric go away again, I can just click this X. And the next thing I can do is click this link that says View Feedback. What this does is gives you an opportunity to look at the paper as if I had written on it and made comments about its grammar and suggestions about how it could do more academic kinds of writing. So when I click this link, I get a small copy of the submission I made. You will probably see a larger copy when you're actually doing this in class. My camera forces kind of a small screen on me. But you'll notice that in this there are annotations. This purple writing above the type is an annotation. In the same way that if I had your work in typed on a piece of paper, I could write on it with a pen. These annotations will, again, talk about points of grammar that could be more academic, ways to rephrase a sentence that make it look more in line with classroom writing. There are also highlighted annotations where this kind of highlighting leads to a text box on the side where I can make more detailed comments that won't necessarily fit into those spaces between the lines. So in these ways, through viewing the feedback, through viewing the rubric, and through viewing my comments, you can get detailed advice on your work as you send it in. And that way we can communicate and you can keep developing your skills as a writer. But that is not the only way in which we can communicate between teacher and student. Going back to our front page, I'd like to point out a couple of things you might see on the front here. There is, of course, this lovely picture of me. There is my email address, which you can use at any time, and I will respond within about a day. And there is this instruction about student visiting time via Zoom. What that means is that every Thursday between 6:30 and 8 p.m., or between 1830 and 2000, if you like military time, I will be in my Zoom office, basically here, with a camera and a microphone, ready to answer any question that you might have. If you want to ask me for advice on things that are going on in class, this would be an excellent time to talk to me about those issues. If something is not making sense, you can absolutely talk to me about that. I would hope that you would. It very much helps me. If you'd like to talk about anything else, you can talk to me about that also. It's completely open. It's completely non-mandatory. And it can give you extra credit, depending on your level of participation. You'll see more about that in the class syllabus. To access those meeting times, check your email. I will send you a link to the meeting room in Zoom where you can find me, and you can follow that link and meet me there. If you have a problem meeting me there, if the time doesn't work for you, or if there are technical difficulties, please let me know. Send me an email, and we can arrange a different way of meeting. But I would like to get in touch with you. These online classes can be alienating. There is a certain amount of distance between me and you in space and time. You're not seeing this as I'm recording it, and I'm not seeing you. So if we can get together in that way, I think that would very much help both of us. And finally, I would like to point out these optional grammar refresher modules. These are little modules that I have made that have automated tests in them. By automated, I mean they're multiple choice tests, so you can see your answers without my having to grade them. You can use these refresher modules to practice points of grammar that you might like to get some more work with. For example, ing words can be very difficult for many students. When is the right time to use sitting, and when is the right time to use sat or sit? So to get to these grammar modules, you can just click the title of the module. There is a chart about what you will do and what doing those things will help you with. And you can just follow the module as you would any other module in this class. So, I hope that those aspects make sense to you. And that's pretty much what I want to say about the specifics of the class. And so I'd like to conclude by saying thank you. Thank you very much for your interest in the class, and especially for enrolling in the class. There would be no need for a class without students, such as yourself, so thank you for letting me continue to have a job. Also, I would like to hope deeply and sincerely that you will continue to ask questions as we keep going. I always make perfect sense to myself. I know what I'm going to say. I know what I mean by what I'm going to say. But because you're not me, I might not make perfect sense to you all the time. When that happens, please send me an email, ask me a question about it. It might be something that other students in the class want to know, so I can answer that question for not just you, but also for anyone else who might be confused. And finally, I would like to thank you for your time and attention.